After they had sex, her pussy lips were sliding on his toe like a pink you got hit back to back by those credit card transactions and your mother's 200K insurance fraud debt. Your mama make God on you, bitch. Instead of double dipping, your fat neck, an overweight ass, triple dip that shit. You nasty, funky, fat ass bitch. Calm your motherfucking ass down when you want on my tongue, motherfucking read me, bitch. You nasty bitch, overweight, blood clot, discharge, smelling asshole, bitch. You nick that K-Wax, Reebok wearing ass bitch. Your mom can eat you in a horse next to the Mississippi River. Read me, bitch. Read me.
What's up guys, it's Quan Dale Dingle, Quartz here, and before we see the results, I thought it'd be fun to actually read the stories out loud for everybody's reactions. I'm gonna go in order of team, so badges first. After I read all the stories, results proceed as normal. ST Car sat near a flat rock, hands at a keyboard, but nothing is being written down. Man, I didn't think coming up with such a good starting point for my team, for this challenge would be so hard. Suddenly, Pip-Up appeared behind him, in need of my help, I guess. SD card turned around. So do you have any ideas? Nope, but I bet these guys do. A rumbling was heard, and then the rest of his team appeared as well. I appreciate the support, but I think this is cheating. The group of 5 sat around the table, as Fuzzy Dice put down the DM mat. It's not particularly cheating, so you're okay to do as you wish for the arena. Hocus nodded, as she looked down at her player token, as well as the Fusic sitting to her right, LK to her left. She took a deep breath as she smiled, however Wildies do. Okay, let's do this everyone. Hocus cheers on, now with the legality confirmed. They slammed down the tray. It rattled as several dice of varying kind hit the tins. Alright everyone, we draw your weapons as the gates open. The rumbling stops as the gates do, and you know what that means. Roll for initiative! A gigantic dice block rolled down a set of stairs and in front of the characters. The D20 showed a gate and entered the castle where guards have yet to anticipate their attack. The thief vanished for a few seconds, then reappeared delivering the first strike on the guards. The mage casted a fireball, causing some of the armor to melt. The soldiers protecting the castle retaliated with stabs from their metallic weapons. Suddenly, terror struck the soldiers as they soon realized the weapons had melted too. To cool them down, the mage casted an ice spell, which turned his opponents into ice cream, and not the good kind. This when suddenly, an opposing mage approached, coming out of the shadows, the legendary Black Mage. The two mages looked into each other's eyes, both knowing they would face off on a battle of magic, where only one would come out alive, a duel of spells and ancient forces from the most obscure arcanes. The Black Mage took the first shot by making thunder strike near the mage, who teleported out of the way to dodge the spell, before summoning 3 fireballs. The Black Mage conjured a wall of dark energy to protect himself, before making spice come out of it to attempt to stab the mage, who promptly dissipated it by summoning heavenly light, making his shield disappear. After the succession of spells, the two took back in time to look at each other as they focused to regain their mana. Time seemed to be in slow motion as the two focused, hoping to regain their mana quicker than the other. In order to get the upper hand, they were both sweating. This required all their concentration, and neither were willing to give up. Suddenly, the Black Mage lunged forward, with the lance made of dark energy, attempting to skewer the mage. The mage fires at the dark magic, attempting to throw him off balance, and to defend himself, but to no avail. At the last moment, with the little mana they have left, they create a minuscule shield, only large enough to protect their chest. This was not strong enough. The lance completely pierced through the shield, shattering into pieces that quickly turned into magical dust. The lance made a dark energy gleam, and the dark mage sneered as the mage fell to the ground, barely able to move due to the void-like hole in their chest. The mage did not give up, however. Standing up determined, with no mana left, used all their strength to regain it, clapping to the hope that they would have enough to cast another spell. Using their own strength in place of mana, cut into the mage directly as they felt a searing pain all over their body. The dark mage pridefully snickering and preconceived success. But this snickering quickly stopped as there was a flash of light, and the dark mage felt their own skin begin to burn, the blood beneath boiling. They looked around as their vision flustered, the dying mage watching clearly. "What have you done?" the dark mage suddenly cried, holding their grand hat down, as their midnight limbs melted away slowly. The mage had not intended to use as a destructive spell, but in this dire moment, their adrenaline-rushed heart begged for more than their mind, and so was the one performed, and they had to play along with it to defeat the dark mage. "Making sure neither of us can win," the mage replied, in a final, somewhat evil tone. Time seemed to slow down, for the mage wasn't just melting away the dark mage, but the world around them began to shake too. Dark mage rushed to stab the mage with their dark energy lance yet again, but by the time this was done and they were unconscious, the ground erupted into earthquakes around the two, as the dark mage's left arm became thick tar unusable. With the dark mage doomed to fall just into the regular mage, they had to take a huge gamble with the emergency item under the stylish hat, finally taking it out. Under his hat, we finally see his true form, an angel demon, ready to fly away, but a force from the underworld echoed. "I am still not done with you," said the mage. "Impossible! You're supposed to be dead," said the dark mage in contradiction. Trying to fly away, the dark mage took flight and so got the mage out of the hole too. "If I'll die, you will go with me," said the mage, and so the mage caught one of the dark mage's wings, screaming in agony. The dark mage desperately tried to fly with one wing, but the dark mage's bloody wing would make him fall to his demise. The mage really had the last laugh, but sadly, he didn't have wings or magic, so both fall into the underworld. A true hero. The little town praised him like a saint, the mage saint, and the town never had any more problems since then. "Why not?" Face exclaimed. "It's just getting a little help." "You're welcome, by the way," Yoyle interrupted. "Isn't this method a little dubious, though?" SD Card thought. "What do you think, Flask?" Face asked. It looks like Flash doesn't even know what's happening. Though in all honesty, Face didn't expect Flash to understand what was going on. You don't encounter a machine like this every day, not one that's advanced and complex, that is. Meanwhile, Flash stared in awe as the mechanisms before them. It was impossible to comprehend this thing that stood in front of them. The seemingly endless clockwork of gears and levers within the machine left Flash speechless. So, Flash asked, turning to Face, what exactly does this machine do? It's very simple, my fellow inventor, Face boasted condescendingly. One flick of a switch, and it turns objects into objects. Flash was skeptical. How could such a dilapidated machine created by such a dilapidated imbecile create life where no one was meant to exist? His thoughts were soon perished as Face brought a potted plant to the conveyor headlined the machine. The leaves of the plant rustled briskly as it was clothed by shadow from whence the mechanical light bringer brought his glare. As the gears began to grind and moan, Flash's emotion went from a confused but impressed grin to a gut-wrenching grimace. He felt each crack of metal scraping against metal. The howls of horror as the already living plant was promised new life by its metallic surroundings. But alas, eventually something was produced from the machine, a creature not befitting of this reality. Who is this creature, you may ask? Well, this creature is so vile, so odious that most people want to stay away from it. Their name is I'm just kidding. The creature's name is actually Malapalate Organism, or Mappo for short. Mappo was a very annoying creature, and most people hated it. It always caused destruction wherever it goes. As such, the people want Mappo dead. Mappo was so hated, the world needed to find an effective way to eliminate him. After many hours of debating, every government put a bounty on Mappo's head for a $19 Fortnite card. Who wants it? God damn it. With the promise of a $19 Fortnite card, along with Mappo being generally hated by everyone, a worldwide manhunt ensued. Mappo, sensing the danger to their life, immediately went hiding in the one place he knew no one would be able to find them, a movie theater not showing Morbius. It was a genius hiding spot, and Mappo hid there undetected for many years. However, one lone soul would eventually wander in to find Mappo. His name was Quan Dale Dingle, world-famous musician, artist, entrepreneur, cultural icon. What cannot be said about Chicago-born rapper Kanye West? All was going well for the rap legend after the recent release of his album, Daunted 2, when all of a sudden he got a call. It's me, Pope Francis. We need you urgently, Kanye. Come fast. This was not what Kanye had expected. He had a free weekend and wanted to do whatever possible for his faith, so he booked a plane ticket to Rome. Upon arriving and heading to the Vatican, Pope Francis greeted Kanye and explained what was going on. It's terrible, Pope Francis exclaimed. My papal hat was stolen by the wicked armies of Satan. That's awful. But what in the world can I do to help? Kanye asked. My holy hat has been taken to the deepest circles of hell, and the prophecy says only a black star can reclaim the papal crown, and our papal scholars assumed that was you. Kanye West knew in his heart he couldn't refuse this task from the Pope himself, and so agreed to venture into hell to reclaim the papal hat. In order to get to hell, you will need to use the papal hat portal located in the holy basement. My assistants will show you the way there, Francis said. Saying his last goodbye to the Pope, Kanye headed towards the portal guided by the assistants. Making his way to the portal, Kanye and the assistants journeyed through the holy basement located underneath the Pope's Vatican Palace. Kanye was soon acquainted with the enormous violet portal while venturing down the basement path, gazing up in amazement, knowing that soon he would be going through this and it to the unknown. However, before proceeding to the portal, one of the assistants handed him a note, stating in a pressing tone, "Do not read this until after you enter the portal." Although he had an ominous feeling about it, Kanye accepted his instruction and headed into the portal. Entering hell, Kanye looked around all the devastated terrain, gathered sight of many unfortunate souls who did not follow the teaching of God and the Pope himself. While most of them ignored the appearance of the new incarnation, one stepped forward, noticeably out of his comfort zone, and reached out to him. The man introduced himself as none other than Joe Rogan. Acknowledging this, Kanye also acquainted himself with Joe, who would become the future partner in this adventure. Kanye West then decided to read the note, which said, "The only way to return to Earth from hell is to defeat the one who stole my papal hat, Pope Francis." Startled and frightened by the sudden news, Kanye decided to search for the Pope's crown. However, he was unknowingly followed by the only one Joe Rogan, hoping to join him on his quest while not knowing what he was getting himself into. So the journey of our hero and his follower began, to take the head-covering clothes of Pope Francis, in order to escape the hell and the whole career of his haters and death. While walking on a surprisingly uncharacteristic flat land for the hell, Kanye found a lava river and said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. In hell we have literally nothing interesting but this freaking river that's literally uncrossable. How the heck am I going to advance?" Oh wait, I got an idea. Kanye West somehow summoned his friend, the baby, into the hell, which even I don't get how the fucking man should do, and made him to transform into the baby car in exchange of giving his cash bag and return to the earth. The baby said, "Let's go," and turned into the baby car before Kanye get in there. However, Kanye suddenly realized he forgot how to drive, as well as how to read all the numbers and then the symbols in the dashboard of the car for some reason. Being in a big trouble, Kenya! Kenya was concerned of what to do now. Then suddenly, John Cena, who were specifically summoned by Joe Rogan, appeared out of nowhere and came forward to help drive to the river, which Kanye West, oh my god, gladly agreed, before himself and John Cena drove through the surface of the lava river of the hell by the baby car, while Joe Rogan himself sneaked on the roof in order to keep following Kanye West secretly. After driving past the lava river of hell, thanks to the baby car and John Cena, Kanye believes they are in the clear. Well, that didn't last long considering the road they were driving on wasn't finished. Kanye noticed this, and thinking rationally, he took the wheel and drove them off the road and into the water. Somehow they were still alive, but the baby was too exhausted to keep himself in his car transformation, so the group would have to continue on foot. Kanye tried to go for the other two, telling them that everything would be alright, but little did he know, someone was already waiting for him. It was Donald J. Trump, who was building a wall on the side of the road. Kanye approached the man, gave him a friendly greeting, and asked him to help him out, as Kanye has carried on his legacy after becoming the newest president of the United States. The former president, being a gentleman, agrees to this, and hailed them all with the snap of a finger as a plus. Our car matures out of thin air, crushing the member of the group as it falls to the ground. A fart trick was made by the baby right afterwards. Recruiting Trump to the party as a replacement because of his awesome politician powers, Kanye and the baby set off towards their destination in their new car, the trio vibing to What Is Love by Jim Carrey, now that the hardest part of the journey has passed. Eventually they reach their destination, where the final battle awaits them after so many hardships. Staying on the topic of politics, it has come to my attention that there will be a third party that will be participating against the current political parties of future elections. This party has been named the Dollar Party. This party symbolized with the monkey and with the color of yellow to really finish off the primary colors. The party initially plans on following the ways of complete chaos, as that the majority choose how the government control how the society worked, said there would be no control it. There would be no such thing as the government, and this Dollar Party would wish for everyone in the society to be reverted back to, you guessed it, monkeys. As there's no control of anything, the people are free to do as they please, eventually turning them back monkeys, completing the prophecy once and for all held by the Dollar Party. And as for other current information, both Bill Cosby and Bill Nye have started to support and be part of the Dollar Party. Coincidence? I think not. Will the Dollar succumb to the massive regime, or will this whole plan topple down to the ground? It's all or nothing now. Either we take the targets out, or we die trying. Let's do this, everyone. So we started executing our plan. At first it went quite well, with most of the low-end members actually believing that the Dollars are controlling them. However, despite that, the leaders and their close subordinates were much more powerful than we thought. Even with many people turning on them and creating conflict, we were still outmatched. However, at the last moment, one of the leaders decided to murder one of his colleagues and says, "I'm done with you abusing your powers." With the cause of the recent downturn of events, the greed caused poverty for many of us. With the help of a rebellious leader, we managed to take the Dollars out and free society from their shackles. We made the world a better place and no one remembers for it. The end. As Kanye and Rogan embarked on their journey, they soon found themselves on a treacherous path, as Quan Dale Dingle was here, demanding a rap battle to pass. Having escaped from prison just 3 months prior, he attacked to assuming they were spies from Italy. Kanye may be one of the best rappers of all time. Rogan, however, was quite nonchalant, not realizing that the man in front of him was going to take over the world. However, they both knew that Dingle was not to be taken lightly. Starting off this epic rap battle. "What's up, guys? Quan Dale Dingle here. Gonna leave you a talent trembling in fear." They both shivered in fear as they saw Dingle rise up to the air with electric blue eyes. Their face went pale. They weren't looking at any normal human anymore. They were in the presence of a god. They both fell to the ground, passed out from fear alone. Quan Dale Dingle drifted back down. He had to hurry or else the cops would find him again. He knew the cops were out for him. Any small event would have locked him up for years. Nobody needed to know what Quan Dale Dingle was, not even Quan Dale himself. He took off down the street, passing the 2 passed out bodies. Soon he hears wailing from the sirens. "Damn, it's the police, but I can't fall here. I must make a retreat," he says to himself as he Naruto runs to a nearby 7-Eleven, picks up a box of Tyler Ninja Blevins limited edition Red Bull, and chugged that shit down. Now supercharged, he runs back home. He went to his room, picked up his laptop with the P-Hub Premium, and continued to make a mad dash to where the sun rises from, in hopes of a new life somewhere else. He knew he'd be a wanted man, no matter where he went, but he still ran. The sun rose, beaming on the face of Quan Dale Dingle, and the temperature getting hotter and hotter as the hours went by. There was a poem he read before, and he thought how it relates to his current situation. The poem went like this: "They don't want none. They don't want none. They're looking scared, cause they don't really want none. We some southern boys with the farmer strength. Ain't nobody man enough to feel the pain. And you could be next. You better give respect, cause ain't nobody breaking this Quan Dale Dingle." You seriously need a grammar and spelling do-over. You had know for a fact that ain't is not a good word to use in writing. Are you seriously considering my spelling skills? I might just go irate if your ego continues, so stop disrespecting me. Shut up and get the van before I force you to. And trust me, you will not like me forcing you to do something. His eyes widen and gets in the van, on command, before bad things happen. Where were you even going anyways, Mr. Know-It-All? English school. What else? Upon hearing that, he unbuckled his seatbelt, unlocked the door, opened it, and jumped out. Great, I knew he would do that. What a crybaby. I gotta get back home after that, so... Wait, I forgot which way is north. They were straying too far from the original goal, which was to get back home. Unfortunately, the cell phone service doesn't work when you're on a location as remote as this one, so Google Maps wasn't working. The two adventured through rough terrain, across highways, and in places that they would normally not go into. After several hours of wandering, they finally found civilization. The two knew where their home was from here. They walked inside, and the journey was finally over. Gas station sushi? Did you actually fucking make us go through all of that just for some gas station sushi? 7-Eleven is my true home. Thank you for coming along with me on this journey, dude. Name's Diamondy. You may recognize me as a newest member of Cuisine, a team within Battlefield Mountain. It seemed to be a perfectly normal day. We hadn't gotten a challenge yet, so everyone's allowed to kick back a bit and do whatever our team launched. I failed and yelled at the team cap about our team's failures. A bunch of people made a funeral with Toxic Pen, and I was in a corner reading one of my favorite visual novels. Nothing could go wrong, I thought, but then the power cut off. If it happened in the daytime, this wouldn't have really mattered too much. The sun is basically a free light bulb, but the moon was the one taking the shift at the time, so none of us could really see. Someone, I couldn't figure out who. I didn't recognize the voice, it was too dark to see who they were. Decided that they would go out and find the breaker. They seemed to have a flashlight on them, so they saw a bit of light slowly drift away. As the person left, they shouldn't take too long. A couple minutes passed, and the lights cut back on, signaling that whoever that was had successfully reached the breaker though. It would still be hard to figure out who exactly that was, as most of the people in the team launch had left. Perhaps some of us had left to find the hosts and the other teams. Maybe some of us had a phobia of the dark and ran out scared, but there's one thing that I knew for certain. That scream just echoed through the halls, only to be followed by the sound of glass shattering. A small group of us stealth along consisting of me, Cake, and TAC decided to go check it out, heading to the bathrooms first due to the scream seemingly coming from somewhere near us. Due to there being separate bathrooms for different genders, me, TAC, and Cake had to part ways as investigate the girls' bathroom, spotting a fellow Cuisine member who was one of many to leave the team lodge when the blackout occurred. Though, being a diamond myself, I found it rather horrifying that I found Ruby here with her head shattered as a piece of her scattered across the floor. There's no doubt in my mind that she had been killed by someone. After following the trail of her shattered body, it halted at a dead end. I saw a sticky note on her body, however. It seemed like everything was scribbled out, so I could not tell what it said. I grabbed it anyways, and brought it back to the group anyways, as perhaps somebody else could decipher its contents. Once I got back to the group, I was immediately greeted by CIS Image. He seemed to be pretty neutral about everything going on around him. When I asked him about it, he told me about how he used to death happening around him, and that while it makes him feel uneasy, he doesn't spontaneously react to it. After hearing that, I immediately grew some suspicions, as he keeps a hammer and a gun on him. I started to wait and talk to him further. I started to tell him about the sticky note, and he claimed that he found one of his own and showed me it. They were both scribbled out, so we were stuck and not sure of what to do next. CIS and I decided to stick together and make sure everyone else was okay, as we wanted to make it out of here alive with as many of us as we possibly could. We soon met back up with TAC and Cake, and they told us that they found Anissa cooking murder with a knife through her body, as well as yet another sticky note, leaving the four of us both clueless and scared of what was to come. As we traversed through the area, I felt it getting darker and darker. It felt like the darkness was consuming us until nothing. When I awoke, CIS Image sat there, a look of horror on their face. I turned around to only see, oh god, Cake and TAC. Cake was sliced up into so many pieces, and TAC, it was like someone set off a bomb in their gut. Some of Cake's frosting was used to write the words, game over, and I realized what was to come. Suddenly a masked figure appeared, with a sinister giggle across their mouth, with me and CIS staring in horror, as they slid up their mask off. It was Pillow all along. She's the one who killed everyone. It was her. Why? Why are you doing this to us? CIS Image cried, as Pillow stared at them, a faint but cruel smile on her face. Pillows don't have hearts, and I'm not your friend, so I'm going to experiment with you all, she smiled weakly. Pillow proceeded to incubate CIS Image in a tank full of green liquid, running analysis of the vitals. You are filled with unstable energy that would be quite useful to corrupt the rest of you, Pillow said with an evil smirk. The green liquid turns yellow, and CIS begins to quiver. Every hope, happiness, and energy he has left begins to get sucked in. I must say, you've been quite obedient, CIS Image. You give me enough energy to sustain the corruption of your fellow teammates, Pillow said as she laughed maniacally. Please, just don't go after radioactive. The last words come out of CIS Image's lifeless body, remaining floating in Pillow's experiment tank. The eradication of her whole front had been completed, and Pillow was filled with overwhelming glee that poured into her head with euphoric tension. After drinking rapidly, burning from ear to ear, she settled her vocal cords but refused to seize her power trip, leaving her only with the new, unwavering intent to go directly back on what he told her. As she turned to the corrupted slaves before her, they should control her will. Their eyes blank and unseeing, They merely remained stationary when they were kept. As Pillow flipped a nearby switch, loading to her a nearby software system, she quickly input a few lines of code, and before long, the signal was sent. Radioactive would be the final token to her ensemble of possessions that used to be her teammates' souls. The disappearance of his teammates had left Radioactive distraught and just a little bit angry. Nothing seemed explainable to him, such as where Pillow's disease came from, that made her deathly sick, or how his teammates disappeared week by week, taken from their beds no matter what defense they may put up. He had resorted to solitary confinement, waiting for his own turn but without any ounce of compliance within his spiteful body, and as a result, had taken to the deep woods, eating whatever he could catch and sleeping on a bare, forested floor. However, he had expected it to be 2 days ahead of schedule when he heard a very alarming and rather eerie electronic signal, and as a result, had been seeking the sign of where it was, leaving his wood excuse for a home behind. And yet, opening a mysterious metal door, the last thing that Radioactive expected to see inside the laboratory that produced the noise was Pillow, producing the siren-like signal to lure him into his very own trap, zombified teammates sitting, encapsulated, to give him a blank stare that he could only echo back with his own appalled glance. Pillow, what is this supposed to be? Is this what the sickness did to you? Have you gone mad? He called, desperation reeking into his own voice, only matched in emotion by the sheer smugness that Pillow returned to him as she matched his gaze and prepared to trap him. Gone mad? Ha! If anything, you're the mad one here, considering how distressed you sound right now, Pillow replied. Radioactive wanted to reply back to it, but Pillow quickly pressed a button, which put Radioactive into the capsule. Have a nice time chilling in there, said Pillow. She then closed the open door as she went out of the room through another door, which was in the room. Radioactive struggles to get out of the capsule, but then they start to have a strange feeling. The strange feeling kept growing and growing, and they couldn't stop it no matter what they tried. Before they knew it, they started to have visions as well. As they all sat down, the vision became clear. This vision were the scariest thing of all, their eliminations from previous camps. Everyone that was alive decided it would be best to stay as a whole group instead of splitting off. We went to the next room, and the moment CIS reached the middle of the room, some sort of gas came out the floor, making everyone's vision decreased. Everyone was panicking and talking all at once, but the moment I heard gunshots, I yelled, "Take cover!" and I ducked to the floor within an instant. It was hard to tell who ducked in fear trying to avoid incoming shots for the next 20 seconds. The gas slowly cleared, and everyone slowly got up in hopes that the gunshots ended. I looked around to see if everybody was okay, but I heard Canary screaming. I tried to locate their voice and was able to find them. COS Image was already with Canary, and they were staring at the corpse of Cake, which had more holes than Swiss cheese. On top of Cake's body was another note that said escape was near. The remaining survivors, COS Image, Canary, and I, all agreed on inspecting rooms before we take foot in it. We don't know when another booby trap could set off. We proceeded to inspect the next couple rooms in the case of another potential danger. We were getting close to the exit, I just know it. But where could it be was truly the most puzzling part. We were wandering across the hallways until something was heard. COS Image had stepped into a very creaky part of the floorboard. Our group of three inspected the part of the floor before eventually gave in and fell down after a sufficient amount of pressure. It looked like a tunnel of some sort for all three of us to escape. For our escape, we all went through the said escape tunnel. First Canary, then COS Image, then myself. As we were going down the escape tunnel, we managed to pass by a cave. It looked like the one that Cortez go through beforehand in order to go to that small island. While we were passing by, we ran into a group of those laser eels, which, of course, were a problem. Though CIS, being a little omnipotent being, managed to kill them pretty easily. After that, we had managed to get about halfway through the tunnel. Hey, CIS, empty ass. Why did those cultists attack us? Well, you see, everyone kind of made a Discord PFP call amongst us, the users of the contestants. What are users? Think of them like stands from the hit cartoon Morbius. For example, Cancer Patient over there's user is the relevant asshat named TAC, and they helped Canary win the challenge. Hell, he's the one currently fucking speedrunning the challenge right now. Oh damn, what's his time at? Loser for Gore skull set a stopwatch. And after that fourth wall breaking conversation, CIS, Canary and I had managed to find a fork in the road. Only one could lead to the exit, but which? Right is always right, CIS says, then Canary Biohazard. What kind of logic is that? Biohazard responds. The logic I'm using, now come on. CIS says as he forcibly grabs the wrist of both Canary and Biohazard. Evidently, there was an exit there. How convenient for them making CIS smirk at Biohazard while dragging the two to the exit. One of the steps he takes does not hold his weight. He steps into a pitfall, dragging Biohazard and Canary with him. The fall was not long. It was stopped by something squishy. Good news, they had found the exit. Bad news, there was a tentacle monster blocking its path, and he seemed very violent from being used as a cushion. As the group gets up, the tentacle monster slams his tentacle on top of them, pull everyone back up, then use everyone's combined strength to pull on the tentacle. This will trick the monster into trying to pull the group towards itself, instead of using all his tentacles to grab onto us. The group's combined strength is enough to withstand the monster and wear it out. At this point, they should all be able to run away from an escape. They can finally achieve their goal.